So we have seen tables. Okay, so today we are going to see another database objects related to synonym. Okay, anybody have any idea what is a synonym? Generally, what is a synonym? In general English, what is synonym? What is synonym? Anybody have any idea what is synonym? Anybody have any idea what is synonym? What is the general meaning of a synonym? Shalini, Shravani, Kiran Garu. Anybody have any idea what is synonym? Same meaning. Yes. So something right. Next, anyone? Anyone have any idea what is synonym? Try చేయండి. Just try it. Related meaning words is something. Yes, right. Something right. Any other? Anybody have any other idea, please? What is a synonym? Alias for a table. Yes. Representing the same meaning without altering the original. See, yes. So most of them are right. Okay. So generally in general English, synonym means alternative name. So general meaning of synonym is it's not related to a oracle one. It's not. It's related to general English. Synonym means general meaning of a synonym is alternative name or alias name to another name. To another name. Okay, so something instead of Vinay, people use it to call it as a Sheshu. Instead of XYZ, people use it to call it as a sample. So both XYZ and sample are represent the same thing. Okay, so Vinay is original name and Sheshu is an alternative name. Both are represents to the same person. So it's a alias name or alternative name. Alternative or alias. Okay, alias or alternative to another name or another object. See what I'm saying? So another object. Okay, so it's an another object. So the general meaning of a synonym is alias or alternative to another object. It can be a name or it can be a anything. Okay, so now what is the meaning of a synonym in a oracle? So the synonym is an alias name or alternative name to to any other database object. So that means so we can create an alias name for a table, we can create alias name for a view, we can create alias name for a sequence, we can create an alias name for an index, we won't create it, or any other schema object. So the synonym is an alias or alternative name to any other object. So that means we are giving another name, another name to a database object. Okay, what is the use, why we have to create a database object? Okay, so they are calling it as a why we have to create a database object. Why we have to create is it mandatory? No, it is not mandatory. So the creating a synonym is completely optional. That depends upon you and your requirement. If you want to create it. Otherwise, don't create it. Okay, so what is the basic advantage of synonym? Okay, let's see. For example, let's go to Scott. Okay, select star from EMP. Select star from EMP. What is the meaning of EMP? What is EMP? What is an EMP? What is an EMP? It's a table. Okay, so is it giving any meaningful or employee or EMP or select star from employee info? Employee info. So which one is giving a meaningful name out of EMP and employee info? Which one is giving a meaningful name to a business point of view? Which one is giving a meaningful name? So the employee info is giving a meaningful name. Okay, so now let's see. I'm creating it. The one thing is using the synonyms, we can give a meaningful name to a database object. So using synonyms, so we can give meaningful name to a database object. So it's any database object. We can give a meaningful name to a database object. First thing is, okay. So now next one is, so whenever I'm executing the select star from employee info, it should execute a actual table is employee. Okay, let's see. I'm creating a synonym. I'll explain that one. Create synonym employee info for EMP. I'm creating a synonym employee info for EMP. So insufficient privileges, the privileges is required. Grant create synonym to Scott. I'm granting a create synonym privilege to Scott. So now I'm executing a create synonym privilege. See a synonym created. Okay, so now let's forget about the employee. So now I always execute select star from employee info. Select star from employee info. See here. So do you know whether employee info is a table or EMP? We don't know, right? So this is, we're executing from a synonym. Okay, but the actual physical object underlying to the synonym is a table. So what is the name? What is the advantage of this one? Is a meaningful name. One thing is meaningful name, and the second one is, so we are hiding actual object name. So I'm not disclosing my actual object name. So we are hiding, and I'm providing an additional level of security by hiding actual object name. So the actual security, another important point is the security. So how we are getting the security? By giving a actual object name. We are hiding actual object name. Okay, we are hiding actual object name. That's the simple thing, by providing a security, nothing else. Okay, synonym does not contain any data. Synonyms does not occupy any space on the database because it is just an alias name. It does not contain anything. So whenever I'm executing a select star from that EMP info, so the Oracle identifies what object it is and it executes select star from EMP directly. So we can give a actual object name. Everybody is clear? And so if we hide the, okay, let's say we hide the employee table. If anybody says drop table EMP info, employee info, so what happens? See, table RV does not exist. So we can control the dropping of the table EMP also. So we are not disclosing any object. Okay, we are not disclosing any object. So we are hiding the security. So we can control the certain operations using the synonyms. Okay, everybody is clear? So we are hiding using synonyms. We can give a synonym. Okay, create synonym. Okay, let's say synonyms are two types. One is public synonym and one thing is private synonym. Private, public and private synonym. Public means any user can access it. any user. So if we create a public synonym, anybody in the database can access that synonym. Public synonym means available to all users. Public synonym available to all users. And the second thing is, so the users who have access, that's a private, that means the who have a specific access. The database users who have an access on synonym can see only. So that means only specific people. So I want to give access to only Shweta, I want to give access to only Shravani, I want to give access only to Avinash, Ashok and Kiran only. So these are the advantage, public synonym and private synonym. So the public synonym means anybody can create a public synonym, sorry, anybody can access the public synonym. This small topic, it's an alternative name. Okay, public and private. So what is the syntax? Create or replace synonym name for object, the database object. So create synonym for database object. So that's I'm giving an example. Okay, so here we have already seen a create synonym for EMP. That means we created a synonym for an employee. We created a synonym for employee. But how can I create a public synonym? Okay, so now for creating a synonym, so we need create synonym privilege and create public synonym privilege. Privilege and privilege. So we need create synonym and create public synonym privilege. This is for creating a public synonym and this is for creating a private synonym. So this is an example for creating a synonym. So the advantage is, so instead of giving an access on the tables directly to the users, after creating a synonym, see here, the DBA will create a synonym. So then he'll grant access on synonym to the others. So he won't grant a tables directly. He won't grant a tables directly. So public synonym and private synonym. So how can I create a public synonym? Okay, let's see. I'm dropping this synonym. Drop synonym. Let's see. Okay. So now employee info for employee. Okay. So now I'm creating a public synonym. Create public synonym employee for scott.emp. Scott.emp. So create public synonym employee for scott.employee. So I'm creating a public synonym. Public synonym employee created. Public synonym employee created. So that means anybody can access it. Select star from employee. Select star from employee. So anybody can access that synonym. So now the synonym is a public synonym. Synonym is a public synonym. So this is an example for we can create a synonym for any object. We can create a synonym for any object. Only thing is, so the create public synonym employee for scott.emp. Okay, so there is no alter synonym. There is no option of alter synonym because the synonym does not contain any specific attributes. It's only just the name only. Okay, drop synonym. Drop synonym name. Drop synonym name. This is for dropping a synonym from database. So drop synonym employee info. That is a synonym is drop. So I'm dropping the synonym from Scott because I created from the Scott. So the drop synonym name in my employee drop. If I execute this one, so it gives the tabular view does not exist because we dropped that synonym. Create public synonym. Everybody is clear? Everybody is clear? Yes or no? That's it. That's all about the synonyms. Synonyms is a very small topic because that's only drop and recreate the synonym. So once a private synonym created, the user will grant necessary object. So we need to see. Okay, here, see here. So I'm selecting star from employee, but what is an employee? Is it a table, or it is a view, or it is a synonym? We don't know anything. So how can I get that information? Okay, that we will see in the next class. So how do you know the type of object? Okay, that we will see in tomorrow's class. Okay, now everybody is clear, or anybody have any doubts, please? Please, anybody have any doubts, or everything is clear? Please, yes or no? Okay. So now we are going to see an object called as an sequence. The sequence. Okay, the sequence. What is a sequence object and how to create a sequence and how to drop a sequence and everything. So how to create a sequence. So generally, what is the meaning of a sequence? What is the meaning of a sequence? Okay, so first of all, everything is a database object. Numbers in an order. Yes, numbers in an order. Okay, so sequence is a database object. Is an database object. Database object. Sequence is a database object. So what it is for? Okay, sequence is for generating numbers in a sequential order. Sequential order, either by increment or in the decrement. Either by increment or decrement order. Okay. So the sequence is an object for generating the numbers. Okay, for example, let's see. I have a table called student. I have a table called student. So the student ID. So what is my role is, so during my insert operation, I don't want to generate the sequence IDs. I don't want users to enter a values for the student ID. So I want to generate a series of numbers, so sequence numbers. So a system automatically needed to generate numbers. The system needed to generate numbers, not users. Okay, is for generating a numbers in the sequential order, either by increment or a decrement order. So why we will use the sequence? So the sequence is mainly used for automatic population of a primary key values. Automatic population of primary key values. Primary key values, or any column which you want a numbers sequence, or any column. Numbers sequentially. So I want to populate a values to a column sequentially, or primary key value. Okay, so or any column. So the mainly used for automatic population of a primary key values, or any column which want numbers sequentially. So the system need to generate a values. The system need say I don't want to generate. I want to populate this number through some object. Okay. Now everybody is clear. It's mainly used for auto numbering. So wherever you want to, not only the particular column, wherever you want to, so we can use it in anywhere. Okay, so let's see what is the syntax of creating a sequence. Main usage is to automatic population of a primary key columns. The main usage of a sequence is to automatic population of a primary key value. So what is the sequence number syntax? Create or replace sequence name. sequence name. Create or sequence name. Okay, so whatever you have from follow is this optional. Okay, so increment by number. Okay, start with number, the starting point. Max val, max number it generates. Min val, minimum value. Minimum number. Okay, cycle or no cycle. Cache numbers. Okay, how many values it's pre-generate. Let's see. Okay, these are all not required. These are all optional. Let's see. Create or replace sequence. Sequence std id gen. See here, I am creating a std id generate. So simple. So I increment by and everything I left it blank. Okay, so optional values. So what happens? It gives a missing or invalid option. Create or replace sequence number. Okay, let's see this. Okay, sequence created. Okay, so sequence created. Let's remove this or replace. Okay, sequence created. What are the characteristics of the by default? Okay, by default sequence starts with one and increment by one. Okay, and let's see the characteristics of that sequence. See here, so let's forget about the created. What is the minimum value is 1, so that is the minimum value, and the maximum value is this many number of the 9s we can generate it. So the maximum is that many number. So calculation, it's a thousands of crores number. That is the maximum number. Increment by 1. So the increment by. Okay, so now this is the starting value indicate the start value of a sequence, starting number of a sequence, starting number of a sequence. This is the increment by every time. So the increment by, so the next number, the starting number plus this one, so the incrementing sequence, increment number. So how do you want to increment each number? So like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That means their increment is 5. But here this is the one. So the maximum number. So the max number what you want to generate. Number of a sequence. Minimum number of a sequence. Okay, so the minimum number or maximum number is either only one required. If it is the incremental by sequence, I told you, right? So the increment by or decrement by. So increment by or decrement by means, so either you want to generate the numbers increment order or decrement order. In the increment sequence, it ends at the maximum number. In a decrement sequence, it ends at the sequence minimum value. So both are not required. Either you have to, that depends upon your increment by. We can use either maximum value or minimum value sequence. So the both are not required. What is this cycle or no cycle? Cycle or no cycle means, okay, so once it reached the maximum number, do you want to restart from the first number or not? Okay, once it is reached the maximum number, do you want the sequence start with the first number again? Okay, so once it is reached the maximum number, do you want to restart again or not? So once it is reached the minimum number in the decremental sequence, so the minimum number, incremental sequence, it is the maximum number. Cycle or no cycle. No cycle means don't repeat it. Once it reaches the end, so it gives an error. Okay, so now the cache number. How many numbers? Okay, Oracle pre-generates in the memory to improve the performance. So in order to improve the performance of your sequence, Oracle need to generate some numbers in the predefined. So it will generate some predefined numbers, either 100 or 1000 or 2000 or something numbers. So it creates in the memory. So those numbers, so cache numbers. So how many numbers it should generate in the this one? So the by default 20 is the cache size. Cache size by default is but we can increase to 1000 or 2000 or anything. Okay, so now see here, this is the simple sequence generated without any attributes. That means without any attributes means, so the sequence by default start with 1 and increment by 1. Okay, so now I'm creating another sequence. Create sequence ABC. Okay, so increment by 5. Increment by 5 and start with 10 and max value is 100. See here, sequence ABC created. So what is the meaning of ABC? ABC is a sequence. Okay, so increment, the first number is 10, second number is 15, third number is 20 and 25, 30, 35, like this, 40, 45. So once it reaches 100, okay, if you try to get a number beyond 100, so it gives an error. Okay, now ABCD increment by -10, starting with 100 and here is 10. Minimum value is 10. See here, ABCD is increment by -10. If it don't specify the maximum value, it takes the default as 1. That's why we get an error, because earlier, okay, so this is the maximum value. It's if it don't specify the any maximum value, it takes the default one. So now what is the first number here? What is the first number in this sequence? What is the first number in this sequence? 100. Okay, yes. So if you don't specify the maximum value, by default it takes the maximum value as 1 and 1 is greater than 10. No, it's wrong. That's why we got that an error. Okay, so now here it generates 100, 90, 80, 70 like this up to 10. That is the sequence. Okay, so the sequence name, incremental by maximum value and start with. These are the very important. Okay, mainly sequence will be used in inserting the data into tables. Okay, let's see how to generate a values from a sequence. Using next val and current val. Pseudo columns. Pseudo columns using and pseudo columns we can get next value and current value from a sequence. Next value and a current value from a sequence. So we can get this information. How to use it? So the sequence name dot next value. Sequence name dot current value. Without using the next value, we cannot use current value directly. One important stuff on that. Without initializing, okay, without using next value of a sequence, sequence, so we cannot get current value. Without initializing a sequence, we cannot get a current. Let's see here, sequence std gen dot current value from dual. See, current value is not at defined in the session, so we have not used the sequence dot current value. We cannot use it because it's not initialized. That's why we have to use the next value. So next value. So that is the way of getting a next value. See here, 1. Okay, so once it is initialized, we can use a sequence dot current value. Now, what is the current value of a sequence? 1. Because still we are using a current value because it's already generated. Next value. So 2. Next value 2, 3, 4. Now the current value is 5. So the sequence value generates per every row. Okay, so now let's see. Now what is the current value of a sequence? Now it's the current value of a sequence is 5. This can be used in everywhere. So now let's see. Comma a dot star from empa. What is my output? What is my output of this query? If I execute this query, what is my output? If I execute this one, so now the current value of a sequence is 5. Okay, so now I'm executing select stdid generated dot next value comma a dot star from employee. What is my output? What is the output of this query? How it is going to generate? Anybody? stdid value along with all the rows. Okay, so what is that value? If the value is the same for all rows or it is going to change for every row? Any others? stdid generate dot next value comma a dot star from employee A. What is my output? Changes for every row. Next, any others? Shalini, Shravani, Kiran, Avinash, Mahesh, Shweta. Anybody have any doubt? Any answer, please? Changes for every row. Yes, it changes for every row because it is a pseudo column. Because EMP table is not here, I am executing public synonym employee. So I think it gives an error also. Yes. It starts with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It executes for every row. Basically the sequence. Now the sequence that current value is, it gives a 5. But the current value is a 15. So now how can I use this sequence for inserting data? Insert into student values. So now here I can use a sequence dot next value comma next value comma full name comma ampersand of DOB date of birth, and it is ampersand of gender. That's it. Now I'm inserting a data into this table. So it's directly asking name. One row inserted. Now the sequence number it's generated is 16. So the next number, if I insert the another record here, it generates another record. So another row inserted. Now the sequence number is every time inserting. So wherever you want to generate the sequence numbers manually, sorry, automatically, wherever you want to generate the sequence automatically, we can use this sequence. Okay, anybody have any doubts, please? Anybody? Ashok, do you have any doubts? Ashok? Ashok? Okay, so now this is the way. So using alter sequence command, so we can alter the characteristics of a sequence. Okay, what are the command? Alter sequence command, we can alter the characteristics of a sequence. What we can alter? We can change the increment or decrement value. We can change increment by value, and okay, we can change all characteristics except start with. We can change all characteristics value except start with value. So that means we can change all the sequences. Let's see. Alter sequence, std id gen. Okay, so increment by 5. So I'm changing the increment by characteristics of the sequence std id gen. So the sequence altered. Now if I use the next value, current value, so the current value is 17. 17 plus 5, 22. 22. 22. Okay, every time. So it's changing increment by value. At the same time, we can change maximum value. 1000. I'm changing the maximum characteristics. So the student characteristics is 1000. See here, 1000. So the last number is 37. Okay, now I'm changing. So we can change all characteristics except start with cash 35. So I changed the characteristics number. So here it is, the cache size is 20. I changed it to 35. That's the simple sequence. Generally, we want to use these sequence commands because all the sequence will starts with a 1. Okay, so if you want to drop a sequence, drop sequence name. Sequence name, that is for dropping a sequence. Drop sequence ABC. So ABCD. Only thing is we need to decide what is the sequence name, whether you want increment sequence or decrement sequence, and if it is the increment or decrement, what is the increment by value, 1 or 1 or -1 or -2 or something, and what type of a cache you want. Do you want to restart the sequence once it is reached the maximum number, the restart or no? So these are the basic characteristics you need to know before creating a sequence. Okay, so if you need a create sequence privilege, if you want to create a sequence, create sequence and create any sequence. So create sequence, you will create only in your schema, privileges required. Okay, so create sequence and create any sequence. Privilege is required for creating a sequence. So create sequence is for creating any sequence. Create sequence you can create in your schema. Create any sequence you can create in any user's schema. Everybody is clear? Everybody is clear, please? Yes. So the sequence is very important thing. So now we are going to see another object. Now we are going to see an object called as a view. Okay, what is a view and what is the importance of a view and everything we need to see. Okay, so generally similar to table, view and everything. So view is a database object. Basically, view is a database object. Database object. Or some people use it to call it as a virtual table or virtual table. Virtual table in the sense is it looks like a table but it is not a table. View is a database object or virtual table. Okay, why it is calling as a virtual table? It's not real. That is, it's not a real table, but we can use it as a table. Okay, so view is a database object or it is a virtual table. Okay, so view is always associated to a select statement. The view creates based on the select statement. View creates from a select statement. Creates for select statement. View creates for select statement. So that means can be created for a select statement. So view is always associated to a select statement. To a select statement. View is always associated to a select statement. So whenever, so that means, okay, so we can select data from a view. Data from a view. So we can select the data from a view. So we can do DML operations. DML, that is insert, update, delete. Insert, update and delete on views with some restrictions. With some restrictions. So we can do DML operations. We can insert, we can update, we can delete on a view with some restrictions. Okay, so what are the restrictions? How can we do the insert, update, delete and everything? See, okay, so view is always created for a select statement. Okay, so let's see the syntax. We will see advantages, how to do and everything we will see. Okay, so the syntax is, so create or replace. So within option force, view name. Okay, create or replace view name as your select statement, any select statement. Select statement with check option with read only. So with check option and with read only. So this is the select statement. Okay, and one thing is view does not contains any data. It's a logical table. View does not contain any data. View never contain data. Contains any data. So view does not contains any data because it's a virtual table associated to a select statement. Okay, so now let's see the small example. Create or replace view emp sal info. Okay, emp sal info. I'm creating a view as select employee number, comma, e-name, comma, salary, comma, commission from employee. So I'm creating a view with only 4 columns. What is this emp sal info? Okay, I have a table with the same name. So just I'm dropping the table. Okay. So now let's say I'm creating a view. Insufficient privileges. So we need a create view privilege. Grant create view to Scott. Okay, grant created. So the privileges required for creating view is create view and create any view. So create view means we can create in our own schema. Create any view means we can create in any schema. Okay, so now let's see, I'm creating a view with this 4 columns from employee. Okay, so view created. Now I'm creating another view. I'm creating another view. Department number, MGR, and hire date, EMP HR info. Okay, 2 views are created. So now, so views are created. So EMP sal info and EMP HR info are 2 views, or 2 views based on table EMP. Okay, so okay, EMP and EMP sal info and EMP HR info are 2 views based on EMP table. So now, so I can call, so table EMP is base table of views. So I'm saying it, the tables involved in the select statement of a view are called a base tables. What are the base tables of a view? That means tables involved in the select statement of a view. The tables involved in select statement of view are called base tables. The tables involved in the select statement of a view are called a base tables. Okay, so now that's important. So what are the base tables for these two? So this select statement can be any complex. It can be a simple or complex select. The select statement of a view can be simple or complex with all the joins. That means including all the joins and all the tables, 10, 15, 20 tables. Okay, simple or complex in the sense is involved joins and all other stuff, that is involve multiple tables. Complex or a simple is a single table. Okay, so now multiple tables and everything, multiple tables with the proper joins and everything. Okay, so now we can select data from a view. So let's see. So now I'm selecting from EMP sal info. Okay, does the view contain any data? Does the view contains any data? Yes or no? Does the view contains any data? Yes or no? No, view does not contain any data, but I'm able to select from the view. So I'm executing select star from view. But from where we are getting a data? So whenever you execute a select statement against a view, immediately the query associated to the view is going to execute and sends the data. So this select statement. So this select can get data by executing select statement associated to the view. So select statement associated to the view. Okay, similarly, whenever I execute a select statement from a view, so EMP HR info, select star from EMP HR info. So I will be getting the data from there. Okay, so now select star from EMP salary info, select star from EMP HR info. So I'll be getting the data. First of all, why we are creating a data? First of all, why we have to create a data? Okay, so the first thing is I want to use this select statement multiple times. Daily I want to use the select statement. So instead of writing this select statements every day, I can create a simple view and you can use it. So instead of writing a complex select statement multiple times in your program, okay, so I can create a view and use it. So one did the simplicity. So why simplicity? So that means instead of creating a view multiple times, okay, simplicity means we can see here, instead of writing this select statement every time, I can write the simple select star from employee salary info, simplicity. And the second one is we can represent the data in a different point of view. So using the views, we can represent the data in different perspective. Or different point of view. Okay, we can represent the data in the different point of view. See here, this is two ways of representing. Here I'm getting all the salary info related to an employees. Okay, here it is getting all the managers and all the department hire date and everything. So here, see, the base table for these two is the same employee table, but the data what we are getting from these two is completely different. So the same employee table we implemented in a different point of view. Everybody is clear? Everybody is clear? Yes or no? So these two are the main advantages. Similarly, the complex, the simplicity. Simplicity in the sense is the complex select statements can be simplified. Instead of writing a, for example, let's see, create or replace. Okay, let's say I want to write a select statement like this. Select employee number, E name, okay, DEPT number and D name, comma. So let's see, A dot department number and A dot D name. I want to write a one query, B dot E name and B dot E name, comma. So B dot salary plus NVL of B dot commission, comma 0, like a monthly salary of an employee, into 12 yearly salary by 30, that is the daily salary. Okay, so from EMP, this is a report. Okay, do you think EMP B comma DEPT A where joins, where A dot department number is equal to B dot department number, is it good? Okay, this is a complex statement. Okay, so now see here, do you want to write this select statement every time? No, I cannot. I may remember and I may not remember all these formulas. That's why what I will do is I'll create a EMP info. So create or replace view EMP info as. So I'm creating this view. You must name this expression within a column alias. Okay, so whenever you have a derived column in a select statement associated to the view, okay, we have to give a alias name to all derived columns in a view. So we have to give Okay, alias name to all derived columns or expressions. All derived columns or expressions in select statement of an view. See here, this is giving fine. So the monthly salary is an alias. So yearly salary is an alias. So here we have to give a daily salary. Daily salary. So the simple thing is we have to give a alias name. See here, emp info is created. See here, the simple. Okay, writing this select statement easy, or writing a simple star from emp info. Which one is easy? Writing simple select star from emp info is always easy. Select star from emp info is always easy because it's a simple select statement. Okay, everybody? Yes or no, please? Everybody is it clear? Please let me know. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody, yes. Okay. Divya. Okay. So now what is a? So we are going to say with check option and with read only in tomorrow. Okay. What is the force? Force means, let's see. I'm going to create, see ABC, I'm going to create a table ABCD tomorrow. AC, create or replace view ABCD view as select star from ABCD. Okay, so I'm going, see this is the ABCD. I want to create a view for a certain select statement which is going to be a wrong. See here, table or view does not exist. ABCD is not there, but I want to create ABCD view before creating a table, because so still Shweta is working on creating a table. So I am responsible for views. She is not finished the tables, but I want to finish my code itself today. So I can use a force view. Force view. Or I want to reserve this name today itself. I want to reserve the name. See here, creating view with errors. See, warning, execution completed with warning. If you see the views here, it shows you ABCD view is created. That means I reserved the table. I reserved the view name. Creating a view means, okay, force view means creating a view with, even though the select statement associated with the view is wrong itself. Everybody is it clear? Everybody is it clear? So now what is a read only? I said we can do the DML operations. We can insert, we can delete, we can update the data in a view. But what is read only? Read only means we cannot do DML operations on read only views. Read only means we cannot do DML operations on read only view. Read only. If you create a view with read only, I cannot do insert, update, delete. So with the check option and DML operations on view, we'll see tomorrow. Okay, if you want to drop in a view, we can drop view name. If you want to drop a view, drop view name. This is dropping a view. Dropping a view is drop view name. We'll see. We'll continue tomorrow views. Everybody is it clear? Anybody have any doubts before closing the class? Anybody have any doubts before closing the class, please?
Sir, ఈ రోజు క్లాస్ రికార్డింగ్ ఇస్తారా సార్?
Yes, పంపిస్తానండి. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Good night. See you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Please prepare your doubts. We are going to finish in couple of days. Okay? Please prepare your doubts and let me know. If you have any issues during the practice, you can call me at any time. Okay? Bye. See you. I'll upload the video and then I'll share it to everyone.